Hey guys, I'm the developer of Chinese Strange Stories. Apparently, I'm recording this for my pre-recorded clips so I can fix bugs on the way. So right now we are in the tutorial phase. Since I already seen the tutorials and they are hidden currently, unless you click reset tutorials. Basically, this is a typical card battling. We have a time bar at the left, which you can see it has an icon of the enemy, and a number at the bottom right of it, which shows how many actions we can do before the enemy takes action. This enemy is from the relatively famous story, The Penance King. You can see in her second phase, the human skin peeled off. I think that was the easy fight. Now we can pick up the skin on the ground, and you can see some explanation of how she was formed. Now if we walk upwards, and there's extra dialogues about the story, but we just gonna skip it for now. Now we found the main guy lying by the river. Now we found ourselves as a monk on the top of this holy mountain. And then we can choose sit or not to sit. The choice will affect a hidden attribute, which will affect the endings. Now the main guy woke up at the studio. Apparently he lost his memory. Now we can choose the initial cards for him. Each one can offer different playstyle. Yeah, we have to equip it because the cards are from the item. Oh, these items are also from the original book. So you can take a look at its description. It has some background info about story behind the item. Now we can chat with the master to discover more topics to chat about. And we can also gain some inspiration, which acts like the experience of the game. You can use it to craft cards and level up your attributes. Now this is a card crafting interface. Well, I don't really use the skin card very much, so I'm just gonna dismantle it and replace it with Cold Gleam for our swordsman. Now here we see our first acquaintance, Nana. She's a folk spirit. She's actually a symbol of fox ladies from the book, but our relationship level is not high enough to recruit her. Here we can find a very important item in our room. Okay, now we arrived Mianyang, the first city. We can equip this mat to use in the combat. Our objective is to stay at the town for a night. So here we have 4 branches. This guy, if you talk to him, he will ask you for some money to stay overnight. This is like the list of this quest. We can try to run a bit, but don't use our main guy to chat home with the soldiers in town. You found out later why. At this big yard, they will say, oh, this place is not for travelers to stay. But what about we have special identity? We switch our leader to the Taoist, and then they will invite us in. Because this guy, his mistress is having a baby, and they want the Taoists to tell the fortune for them. Now they want to give us some bonus. If we accept, we can get 1 grand, but if we decline, we will get this very powerful equipment for the Taoist. Now each character has special skills. So the swordsman has this skill which can increase our speed by 1 for the next battle. And the Taoist can divine the fortune. There's good ones and bad ones. You just have to take your chance. Now the people have some different conversations, and talking to them sometimes can unlock location info on your map. You can see by talking to this guy about location. He told us there is a tavern in Long Bay, the town by the west. So we unlocked the town and the tavern location. Now we received a letter from Wang, which is from the previous story, the Pentis game. Because we fought that devil, they sent us a thank you letter and also a recipe and 1 grand money, which is very useful. Yeah, now we're still gonna investigate the strange things in this town. And this guy, if we stayed at his place last night, and they also gave us this clue, but we can also talk to him for the clue. But actually we chose another branch to do, so we don't need to do this one. Because the fight will be different if we go through that rich man's line and we get to fight the girl and the old lady. Yeah, now you can see we actually activated 2 branches. We can follow either way, but if we follow the girl's line, we can fight her, and which is like the best ending of this story. And here's another guy. We could also stay at his place for last night. And if we talk to him about the studio, and there will be a hidden follow-up later for him. Now I'm just gonna save. When we got up from the rich man's place, if we walk a little bit left and we will trigger this, but I avoided that intentionally because I picked up some honeysuckle to use in the battle because she will give us poison. Yes, and she told an old lady, which is very strong. We better attack her first. Yeah, this fight will also give us one more entry in our codex about that old lady. If we choose to help the girl, and then we'll fight the two guys there, the light blue guy and the orange guy. That fight is easier. And now our main guy just unlocked his skill, which is a passive skill that can increase your inspiration gain. Okay, one of our members is seriously wounded. It's time to use our med. Let's level up some attributes because there are 2 hidden events here. One requires reception, another one requires erudition. It's a paper on his table. Now there is some very helpful herbs on the top, hidden in the forest. It can grant +1 AP in the battle. But using items in battle also counts as one action. So your enemy might attack you. Now we are going to the south for the moment because in the southern town we can cook and also make some mats. But you can also go to another town. That's your freedom, because our goal is actually going to the big city at the west, which you can see later on the map. Because when I recorded the gameplay, the lanterns for the quest, like the indicator of quests on the map, was not shown, so but it's fixed already. Now we're in the herbalist's house, and we're just gonna now we only have one recipe, but we can unlock new recipes through crafting. And we use the Taoist to make them because he has the highest erudition right now, and erudition can affect the difficulty of this minigame. Yeah, now we just unlocked one new recipe. But apparently we can't make it. One of the ingredients is missing. Ginseng. Was just checking if we have it. Apparently no. Now I'm just gonna grant some inspiration from this. And this method is also quite helpful because you can revive members in battle. Okay, I'm just gonna speed it up a bit. Now we have 21 inspiration. Level up 1 will cost 10 inspiration. Let's do some perception because it's the AP. And here we can do some cooking. But we don't have many ingredients. Here we have a story. Let's save it for it. And we can see there's many charms on the wall. And it says because his wife is sick. She's been hurting by this guy or the demon every night. So we wait here for him to come tonight as well. And it turns out he's the spirit of a clay statue. Now we fought him. They will give us some reward. If we take, we can get 50 coins, I think. But if we reject, we can get a few dishes, which I think is better. And then we can stay at their bed. There are also beds in our first town. And we can use them anytime for free. We can sleep to restore health. Or we can also eat something. And now we're going towards the west. Here we can see there are 4 ghosts around the guy on the ground, which only shows during the night. But if we see them and didn't help him, like if we didn't fight them and just pass by, and this guy will die tomorrow. So if you think you can't fight them, you can pass through during the day, so you won't get that guy killed. But if he's dead, you can see wild dogs eating his body, and then you can fight the wild dogs, but they're pretty annoying. And then he told us he came from far away and he begged his way to this place just because his father died here and he wanted to get his father's body back to have a proper funeral in their hometown. But when he arrived, he couldn't find where exactly his father was buried. So now he's lost. And we can see in the journal that we need Nana to help us, to help him. So we'll recruit her when we get back to the studio, which means we need to finish this part of the main story first, which means we are still heading the west. There's still another fight on the way, so better to be prepared. Some bandits come out say, "Give us your money," and then we say, "Okay, we gave you," and they were like, "We want all of your stuff." You notice here is actually where we started. And if you didn't pick up the skin at the beginning, I think you can still also pick it up now. But yeah, so our purpose is to find where our main guy came from. So since he fainted over this river, we want to check it out, this city, to see if anyone knows him. Here we see a familiar face on the wanted, and our swordsman spotted. Say, "Oh, we cannot enter this city. Let's go back to the studio." Now our other members also appear. So apparently the Thunder King's army is pursuing the royal families, and our main guy might be one of them. He might be the son of the Prince Wei, and it says Prince Wei and his family escaped to the south before the Thunder King's army invaded that big city just now. So we are going to a city in the south, but not in this demo. Now we can talk to our other members to find out some info of them. We can also give them to increase their relationship so we can recruit them. But we can recruit Nana first because there is a quest for her, remember? And other guys we can invite them later because we can come back to the studio anytime we want. And every character has their likes and dislikes. There is a red icon on the item, that means she likes them. Now we have invited Nana. There is another guy. He's actually a servant of the guy at the bottom, General Wu. So if we invite the general first, we can invite him without a decent relationship level. Now we can click the red icons to fast travel there. Yeah, here's the bed I was talking about. There is also a cooking spot and plenty of crops. The tea store here is another branch of our first quest. That if we didn't stay at the Rage Man's house, and the next day we can investigate this tea store to get some clues. Let's cook some delicious food. Let's go to Long Bay first because we skipped it at the beginning. There is still a few stories to find out. So this old lady, if we talk to her, we can actually find out she's mother of the light blue guy in our first quest. There's also a scholar guy who's also quite pitiful. By talking to him, we will also accept a quest, but this one cannot be done in the demo. Yeah, every character has their unique support skills. Some of them are very useful, just like Nana's. Now we encounter some Thunder King soldiers. Remember they're hunting us? They're hunting the main guy. So they recognize him. These soldiers has a buff when there's other soldiers in the fight. They will gain +1 health and +1 speed. So sometimes they're quite difficult to fight. Now we noticed the guy that keeps drinking in the tavern. And our Taoists say there's something suspicious in him. Not suspicious, but something interesting about his behavior. I think he has a wine worm or alcohol worm in his body. And here we can buy some rice wine and food. We'll buy some wine to gift the general because he likes drinking. So he speeds up his alcohol worm. And then we can take it. This card, when you use it, it will give you 4 alcohol cards. Those cards act just like alcohol items because you can equip alcohol, any alcohol, to use in the fight. Their effect is to plus 5 morale or decrease 1 AP. Some character has a playstyle that relies on morale, so that'll be helpful for them. And this guy hates vegetables. Now we recruited him. We can invite him for free. Now we have all 6 characters available in the demo. Feeling pretty strong. Let's do this quest first. This guy's skill is to break these stones. Usually there's items hidden behind them. Now we switch to Nana to use her skills, which is inspection. It can find interactive items and clues. Now this guy took his father's body and went back home. Now we're back to the first time. because we can fight the soldiers in town. But we have to switch to our main guy to talk to them. We talk about home, and then they will recognize him and start fighting him. And because we have 3 support members, we have a whole lot of buffs. And this fight will be very easy. If we clear the city, like if we killed all the soldiers in town, then the Ming soldiers will come, which is the royal soldiers. That will happen like in 2 days after we clear the city. We can adjust our decks anytime. The Nana's support skill is the first card each turn costs 0 AP, which is insanely useful. And then the servant guy will give us +3 cards at the beginning of the battle, and the general will give us 3 stacks of war at the beginning of the battle. I'm gonna speed up the fights a bit. think that'll be all of them. Now we have a minibus to fight, which is at the north of this little village. When we talk to that old lady, she can actually tell us some clue about it. Basically, she says, don't go there. And now we're feeling pretty strong. Here we have some hidden harvestables that can only be shown with his skills, which is underneath the pine trees. Let's build a bit. Because Nana has this one skill that can remove some poison, but it's kind of subtle. But we don't have better med at the moment. Because we don't have the recipe for that potion. This giant scorpion, its poison is very strong. We do have a few honeysuckle, but I don't think that's enough. This doesn't look good. Somehow it stops using the AoE. Which gives us a chance to fuel it. Lucky we have so many reviving powders. Not a very honorable fight. We can pray at this temple, which will give us a buff to reduce the encounter rates for fast travel. We also got one more entry for our codex. You can see all the monsters we fought are recorded here. This one is from our first quest, and there's some power infos. Apparently, some missing screens for translation. There's a tutorial. I think this is pretty much of this gameplay. Thank you for watching.